Yeah.
Okay, we don't consider ourselves as live now, just ignoring that one. Okay, it's our own meeting chit chat here. Okay, so okay, everyone, hello. Okay, if any of you want to like talk, you can unmute your mic or show your video, the mic, the webcam. So if you want to ask some question or you have anything to comment, then uh, you can turn on the mic. Actually, I'm not sure whether they can hear me or not. Can you hear, Patrick?
Yes. But
Yes,
Edwin
yes, yes.
is off. Ice Cheng is off.
Yes. Chang Yong PF. Benedict, who's the? I think tonight someone going to join the sharing, right?
Well, Edwin is there.
Or Edwin?
Edwin Ong,
Oh, okay.
he's a user as well. So
Oh,
he's the one I say can
okay.
always chip in and share whatever he has done.
Uh-huh.
No issue.
Okay. So Edwin, if you ready, then you can like unmute or show your webcam lah. I'm not sure he's listening or not. Okay, we start with you, Benedict.
So
Okay,
I share my
tell us.
so I share my screen now.
Okay.
So you all see that screen?
Yeah. We saw the screen.
Okay, so I can start. I mean, there are enough people to form a quorum, I think. So, hello everybody. Evening,
At least.
9:10.
Oh,
I hope I'm coming across loud and clear. All right. Tonight I will go through this on-one photo raw software, and I start by making a loud shout saying that I am 70 years old and I'm having fun processing my photos with On1 Photo Raw 2020. And I've used On1 ever since January 2019 with On1 Photo Raw 2019 when I was 69 years old. I turned 70 during MCO, so it's a year to remember. Okay. Why On1 Photo Raw? I give you a little bit of background. I started into photo processing and editing with Adobe Lightroom. And that was with version 2 in early 2009. Someone showed me on a laptop and I just said, okay, I want to get started. So I started with version 2, which was a perpetual license. And ever since then, I upgraded 2010 to version 3, 2012 to version 4, and 2013 to version 5. And all were paid upgrades, and all were perpetual licenses for life. Despite that, I could have stopped upgrading, but the features came thick and thin every year, and I wanted to get into the latest version. Finally, version 6 was launched 2015, and of course, I paid for the upgrade. And since 2015, there were free upgrades right up to version 6.14, which was released December 2017. That was the last version that Adobe would support. And they were pushing all users to go to their Creative Cloud or classic subscription model, paying monthly or yearly subscription rate. And that is not for me. I want a perpetual license so that one day when I stop editing and stop going to the next version, and if I were on a subscription, if I stop my subscription, I would lose all the work that I had done up to the date that I've been paying my subscription. So I didn't want go into a subscription model. So on 31st December 2018, after having used version 6.14 for a couple of years, I decided that I will retire Lightroom, and I've used it for 10 years. I made a decision, meaning from 1st of January 2019, any new photography work or any shots that I've taken will be processed using On1 Photo Raw. Right? So I've been using On1 Photo Raw now for about 15 months. The first month that I started processing the work was like February, March 2019. And now it's about 15 months. So again, why On1 Photo Raw? Let me go back one step. Hang on. I clicked too fast. Why On1 Photo Raw? Okay, let me click forward. No, forward, sorry. Okay, it is an all-in-one editing suite with very comprehensive modules that pretty much, to me, does it all. For Lightroom, I was actually reaching a plateau in terms of the work that I wanted to do. And I was very familiar with Lightroom, maybe 85–90% very comfortable with it, but I want to go a step further. If I have to go a step further, I would have to consider Photoshop. But Photoshop is too much for me. I'm not a graphic artist, even though Photoshop on its own is very, very good. So I've been looking at On1 Photo Raw. It is developed by a group of photographers and is going to be used for photographers. You'll be surprised that it has been around for 15 years and it was under different flavors. Flavors being, they used to sell modules, different modules for different effects that you could buy. But finally, they put them all into a suite. And that is a suite that we are now talking about. One of the earlier flavors was fractals. I don't know whether you have heard of fractals. Fractals was used to size up a photo for, all right, it was used to size up the photos for enlargement, for printing, etc. Okay, the HQ for On1 Photo Raw is in USA. All right, so you deal with them directly. They don't appoint distributors anywhere in the world. Everything is directly purchased from them, and the support, everything comes from them. I was already looking at On1 Photo Raw since 2015, but in 2017, they changed the way they marketed the software. Now it is always called by the year. Compared with other software, is version 6, version 9, version 11, or whatever. So Photo Raw is always per year basis. So Photo Raw 2017 to me was a giant leap forward as they finally introduced non-destructive editing, meaning anything that you edit on your RAW or your TIFF or your JPEG photos are non-destructive. And for the first time in 2017, they could process RAW files. Previous to 2017, the JPEG file, the TIFF file, or they have their own hybrid type of RAW files, which is not the true RAW files. So as a photographer who shoots exclusively RAW, I want to process my photos using RAW. And that was a time, it to me was a giant leap forward. And every year they continue enhancing with more features, and PR 2018, PR 2019, and now PR 2020 versions. So they, by annual increasing and in between the year with all the patch updates, they also solve many of the earlier stability issues. Right, so that's why I really consider it. There's a history. I've been following them, and not more advantages. Perpetual license. Pay once online, and you can install, imagine, into 5 computers, whether PC or Mac. I've installed On1 onto 4 computers, 1 in my office, 2 at home, and 1 in a laptop, all running, in my case, Windows. This is very important. You can actually start your processing without importing. Those who are familiar with Lightroom, you know Lightroom has to import. Lightroom has to have their own catalog. Without it getting into your catalog, you cannot even preview or browse. So to me, that's a big jump. All right, you can process photos from any connected storage, all right, which is better than Lightroom. Lightroom cannot edit from a network storage, for instance. So PR can edit from any hard disk drive that are connected to your PC, any USB devices, and even cloud storage like Google or Microsoft Cloud, or even other cloud storages. For me, coming from a background of Adobe Lightroom, the controls for On1 Photo RAW are pretty familiar ones. Familiar, similar to Adobe, but there are a lot more refinements and controls that you can take advantage of that will take your processing skills to the next level. And that's what I want to do. I want to go above Lightroom and be more creative. One of the features that I really like is stackable effects or filters. Okay, they used to call it filters. Imagine a filter like a filter that you put on in front of your camera. You can have a UV filter, you can have a polarizer filter, you can have a graduated filter. So you can actually stack filters in front of your camera lens, but that will be limited. In the end, after stacking 3 lenses, you have a lot of vignetting when you shoot using your camera. I will show you. Now they call it effects, which is more relevant because you can stack 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 effects on top of your photos to create the kind of effects that you would normally want to create by putting real filters in front of your camera lens. In fact, you can do a lot more digitally now. Okay, On1 Photo RAW is not a small little program. It has evolved over the years. It has layers like Photoshop. You can create masks. There are a lot of blend modes that you can use. And HDR, for instance, you don't need a separate software to do HDR. Panorama stitching, you can stitch panorama. And portraiture, you can enhance the skin, you can brighten up the eyes, you can make the lips wider, in a portraiture. So you don't need a separate portraiture software just to do portraiture. Okay, GPS tracking. If your camera has a GPS capability and you switch that on when you take the photos, the metadata of the GPS location is automatically put into the file. And when you open up in Photo RAW, it will tell you exactly where that photo was taken. So this is not a small time player. They have evolved a lot. To me, the workflow is pretty user-friendly and easy to navigate. Again, if you are a Lightroom user, this should be pretty easy, right? More advantages. Presets. When you buy the software, they give you many presets so that you can get started. So presets are your starting point. You can learn from all the presets they give you to see how the presets are created, and you can remove part of the presets or you can add your own to create a new preset that you can even save. Not only that, you will also get more monthly presets as a loyalty reward. They will just send it to you. And some of these presets are developed by professionals, and some are targeted like for portraiture, some are for landscape, some are even for astrophotography, etc. Okay, training videos are available on the site and over YouTube. We're not talking about 1 or 2 videos or 12 or 30 videos. There are hundreds of videos available on their sites, and they are all classified according to category that you can just click and they will give you all the library selection. Optionally, they also have what they call a Plus membership. And for Plus members, you will get many FOC training videos that's only exclusively for Plus members. That means if you're not a Plus member, you cannot access these videos, right? And this Plus membership videos that you get will far exceed the annual fees that you have to pay. And I've been a Plus member for 4 years, right? Regular software updates during the year are FOC, no problem. So let's say now we are on PR 2020. Any dot upgrade of 2020.1, .2 or .5 or whatever are all free. You only pay for upgrade when next year's version is released. Example, they normally come up with a new version. PR 2021 may be announced August or September. I don't know whether they will follow that annual type of historical practice with the MCO and things like that. But you can expect August, September, they will start teasing you about what to expect for the PR 2021. If you don't upgrade, you can continue using your current version, no problem at all. Okay, current price, $49.99 US is one license that you can install under 5 PCs, whether it's Windows based or Mac based. Can you imagine? $10 US only, right? Compared with, for instance, you have to pay how much for Adobe Creative Cloud or Adobe Classic, right? You can use this as long as you want, and you don't have to pay for upgrade. They will not force you to pay for upgrades. But of course, if you are an active user, you will always look forward to the next year's improvements. And I don't mind paying, all right? So this is just a quick introduction. One of their tagline is, take photography further. PSPJ say, enjoy photography. So with this software, it will take your photography further. Any questions at the moment? Anyone wants to? Any questions? So I can go to the next section now. No?
Yeah, anyone? So far, I think your sharing is quite good.
Yeah, I'm nervous too, you know.
Don't worry, we all
okay.
Nervous. Excited. It's not nervous, it's excited.
Okay, so this is the opening screen of the On1 Photo RAW. And you can see I'm running the 2020 version. All right, and when you open, you are always in the browse mode, the top right-hand corner. You see it's highlighted, right? It's browse. Browse is like looking at a gallery, right? Looking at your library. And this particular one can be anywhere. So if I go from my left, you see local drives on my Windows. I have a C drive, that's an OS. I have a D drive, which I'm putting all my new photographs. And these photographs are from 2019 upwards. All those that I have shot using prior to January 2019 are not in this computer. They are put in my older computer with Lightroom. So I don't mix them. I also have an Extreme SSD connected here. And I have a a USB drive connected where I put in a CF card. So you can actually click anywhere of this and you can start editing. You don't have to import. So for instance, I can go EOS. Let me just click here, right? I can find Lumina Sky samples. See, these were created in Lumina. I put it there. All right, and Lumina, if you ask me, it's very good for replacing Sky. So I can actually start editing now inside On1. Because On1 will also read the JPEG files. Okay, so let's go to another one. I've got a SSD connected, right? And in here, I have photos, sample photos. I can go anywhere. Again, I can click and start editing. I don't have to import and create a catalog like in Lightroom. Okay, so a quick way is, if you're familiar with your PC, you're familiar with your Mac, you can find where your folders are stored, where your photos are kept. This is exactly very familiar. Of course, they also have other things, like you want to go to the desktop, you want to browse a special location, you can also see your catalog folders. Okay, the catalog folders here doesn't relate to the Lightroom catalog. I will explain that later. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah, you see, I have a USB reader connected to the USB drive. So I put in a CF card, as a storage. So I use that, a CF card, which is a 4 gig, old card. I don't use it anymore. And I use that to transfer files from this computer to another computer, for instance, instead of a USB, thumb drive or things like that. All right. Okay. So that's what it relates to. You can also click your Dropbox and start editing what you have at a Dropbox. So it's very, very convenient because you browse, right, with familiar drives. That's what it is, right? Okay, then we come down to albums. Albums are basically similar to what you see in Lightroom. You create albums that brings files from different folders everywhere. So it's like a favorite. I have a favorite, right? That favorite is actually picked up from different folders all over the place. It could be in D drive, could be E drive, could be F drive, it could be another folder. So favorites are where you want to put all your best shots, or you can create more albums to identify things like my best landscape shots are in this folder. My best portraiture shots are in this folder, right? My last travel to Africa, these are my favorite. So you can create many different types. And advanced search, I will talk about it afterwards. Okay, so let's get back to just now the opening screen, which was in my D drive, and it was here, right? So this was my opening screen. So I can minimize. Okay, so let's just move. Okay, there are a lot of commands here like this. You don't have to worry unless you want to really go and look for shortcuts and things like that, or you want to go more in depth, then you can go into this. You can actually start editing right from the word go, as you see here. So what is happening is this. This is your gallery. Your gallery will show a representation of all the files that I have picked up under this folder, Demo PR 2020. So this gallery can be sized up, right, or sized down, depending on how many photos you have. It's down here, you see? Okay, so your gallery can be sorted, bottom here, at the moment by date captured, right? It can be by file name, it can be by file type, it can be by the many, right? And you can have ascending or descending order. All right, so let's get back to the date capture, which was what was set up. Okay, so the gallery can go on from, right now I have a row across of 9, 3, 7, or when you size down, you can increase it and you can go on and go on and you can scroll. All right, you can scroll down. Okay, normally I don't put a lot of photos into one folder. I separate them out. Let's say I go on a holiday, 5 days, I probably have 5 different folders. Each folder has 1 day, then it's easy to work. Okay, so this is your gallery. So gallery of photos and you're under browse. Okay, so when you're under browse, you have information here on the right. This info will tell you this was shot 5D Mark III, this first photo, all right? And it was shot with a 70 mm to 200, 70 to probably 300 mm lens, and it was at 200 mm focal length. And you have the ISO, shutter speed, f-stop, and any compensation, right? And what's the color space used? So all this information is available, right? And because this information is available, you can have a very good system to search for any files that you want. I will show that, okay? So again, you're on a browse mode. You see, you have layering. You can take 3 photos or 2 photos and go into layer and start editing using layers, right? You can go to panorama, which is the second one. So let's say you have 4 photographs that you shot as a panorama. You can go panorama and it will stitch for you. HDR, you compensate plus or minus 3 or 5 photos, bring it into HDR, and it will do the HDR correction for you. And finally, focus stacking. A lot of people are getting into shooting, focusing at different viewpoints of a photo. Let's say, for instance, macro photography is very popular. To get everything sharp, you probably have to focus 10, 12, 15, or 20 different focusing points of a macro, and you can bring that into focusing, and it will put them all into one very sharp focus with a lot of depth of field. So these areas are very, I would call, more advanced, right? So under browse, you have that. But once you click into edit, it will go to another window and all this will be missing, okay? We go down the bottom. This is resize. You can resize a photo from a smaller size to bigger size, and it will compensate and you don't lose a lot of quality. At the beginning, I told you about the fractal technology that was being introduced about 12 years ago when they first started. That fractal technology has been incorporated into resize. Print, for instance, there's a print module, and this was recently upgraded in the 2020 version. Now you can print to large format printer with special color correction and paper modules that you can download to enhance the print. You can share. You want to share to Facebook, to Sparkmark and things like that, you can share. Export. This is what you will do when you're finished editing. You want to export to a smaller JPEG file to share, or you want to export to maybe a TIFF file that you can send out to a professional printer to do a larger format printing. So all that is there. Okay, at the bottom here is just a button to switch off the left panel or switch that back on. It's the same on this side, on the left. So you have a larger desktop that you want to preview your photo. So for instance, all right, you can do that. Can you bring it back? Bring it back. Okay. We are still on the browse mode. Those who are familiar with Lightroom, you have this film strip view. So at the bottom is a film strip, and the film strip will, oops, don't want that. Film strip, you can scroll left and right, and it will show you all the photos under this gallery. When you click, a bigger photo will be shown. All right, so you can do what we call color tagging or putting a light or stars. So for instance, if I like this photograph, I can put a heart, which means I pick this. Come on. Yeah, I pick this as a heart. So in other words, I have a lot of hearts now, right? And a couple of reds. So what this does is you go back here on the left, advanced search. All right. So let me get back my gallery. I mean, the big screen gallery, this one. So the advanced search is very powerful. I want to find all those that have a heart only. So this will show me all the hearts. Anything that has no heart, which to me is something I've picked, will not be shown. What if I want a heart and a red? Red, come on. Sorry. These are only the red. This red has no heart. That's why it didn't show up earlier. So these are only the red that I have picked. And of course, you can have any colors, and you can also put in 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, up to 5 stars to identify your photos. So all that is part of the digital asset management that gives the database a search engine that is very powerful. All right. So let's say I switch this off. All right. So I have everything. Down here, you have even more advanced type of search engine. For instance, right now, on the left, all criteria are matched. I don't want. I want to be very specific, right? So what I want to do is I want to create one that I can search by maybe a lens. I want to see what lens is being used for what photograph. So let's say within here, I'm sure there'll be Canon 100-400 lens, for instance. Nope, not on there. Should be showing again. Never mind. Let's try another one. 1740. Yeah. Okay. 1740. So these two photographs were shot with a 1740 Canon lens. So this is one criteria. I can add another criteria for maybe I can even set aperture, but I don't know what aperture I took it, you see. So let's say, pick it at 5.6. I don't have. Pick it at f8. Nope. Okay. It will search and display basing on the category. So this is a way that you can search through your database, all right? I don't know why it didn't show up. Okay, so now let's get back to switch that off, this one. So what we have now is a quick overview of the browse, right? Browse. So the browse has information, and let's say we want to do an edit. So what I want to do now is basically, let me just search for my advanced search. Where is that? I want to show my advanced search. I just want all this to be deleted so that it will not be searched. And I would just want to search for the heart. These are the heart. So I can actually enlarge this so that you can see, right? Or make it smaller. So I have all of this. So let's say I want to do an edit now. You can choose any photo and you can do an edit, right? So let's say this is like a finished out shot. This is the raw shot before editing. So I will click this and I want to go into edit mode, which means I'm going to edit only one photo now. All right, so this is the photo. It is fit. That means this is the full size that was shot. Okay, so once in your edit mode, you see all the layering, the panorama, the focus, they're all gone. Now you're working with just one photo, but you have information here. So levels, right? This is your levels where it is from black to white. You have information similar to the one in browse. This is the file, information, and you have a history. Okay, those who are familiar with Lightroom, the history is on the left panel, but in PR, it is among these three. So now I've just opened a file. There's nothing done to it yet, right? So I want to edit this file. So down here, these are the ones that are the bells and whistles. I told you I do a lot of effects, and I will show you. Develop is where you can correct overall photo. I mean, anything that you do in develop, like for instance, your exposure control, you pull, it affects the whole photo. You can have a bit more contrast to affect the whole photo, right? It's not local. So you can go all the way. Maybe you want the temperature to go up, right? So you can do a temperature, and this will affect everything. All right. You don't like it, you can just reset. See the bottom here? Reset. Or there are different ways for camera profile. For instance, this is an on-one camera profile that is a standard. You might want a portrait profile to see whether this is better. Or you can have your own camera profile, that was shot by your Canon, Nikon, Sony, or Fujifilm, right? So normally it starts with standard. So I tend to leave it as standard unless I have a real reason to change it. Okay, so if you look at this now, everything has been zero, and because I've already reset it. All right. So AI auto, everyone is talking about AI. So using AI technology to see whether it will help you to do the first round of color correction. So if I press AI, yeah, it is some good, you can see. So I can live with AI if I want. If you don't like AI match is supposed to match as close as possible as what your camera saw when the photograph was taken. Okay, so manual, you do what you want. These are all manual, right? So this is manual. So you have three different ways to tone your first temperature of the photo. So let's say we set all again. All right, so everything back to zero. And if I press the preview here, bottom left, you see, there's no changes done so far. So it's zero. So let's go to AI Auto. And if I press preview, off, there's an improvement. Okay, so let's start with this AI Auto. Let's say we are happy with all of this. So the next step is, let's talk about cropping. Cropping is a very integral part of photography. Framing is integral. So this was shot let's look at here. This was shot with a 400 mm lens, and I had a 1.4 Teddy converter on top of it. So this was shot on a tripod at 338 mm. Okay, and the information is f8, 1/250, and 400 ISO. Okay, and this is shot in RAW, so the file size is indicated there. So all the information is there. So let's get into cropping. Okay, cropping is up here. So you have a lot more of these commands when you get into the edit mode. So explanation is cropping, as you know, is cropping. All these commands actually have a hint on what is supposed to do. You can transform. Let's say transform in, shrink this, and put it onto another canvas, text files, local brushing, faces recognition, masking, refine.
Benedict, pause for a while. Benedict, there's a question.
Yep.
This question from Wesley is, how do you add a watermark? Is it using the text? If you want to add watermark to the picture?
Okay, when you want to add watermark, you actually go into the print module. I can show you that later. So your watermark or logo, right? You can bring that when you want to export or when you want to print. Most of the time, the watermark is inserted when you want to save it to a JPEG, right? Your own logo, for instance, or you want to type in something. So that will be done in the export module, and you can put different levels of transparency and positioning. Okay, I will.
So it's the same like when you go from Lightroom, when you export, you add in the watermark.
Yes, yes. So same thing here, when you export, you put in the watermark, and you can import your logo and things and put that as a watermark, and you can put it anywhere, and you can have different levels of transparency. All right. Okay. So any more questions? Okay. So I was talking about crop now. Crop is very important. So when you click crop, this top portion is where you will do all the cropping work. All right. This is highlighted. So in other words, this is highlighted. Your edit is highlighted, and you have this highlighted to show that you are working on just one photo and you're in develop. Okay. So what do you want to crop? You have original. This was shot as a 3:2 format from the camera. You want to keep the original, or you want to send out for printing 8x10, 3x6x7, 16x9 even, or you want to be creative, it can be freeform. Right? When you see freeform, you decide. How do you want to crop this? Right? You just pull in the edges and you decide. Right? So this is more creative type of cropping, and you can reposition. Okay? So let me reset that. Okay? If I go back to the original ratio, I want to make this into a vertical file. I want to put it within that area. So you see here, width and height I can change. You see the arrow left and right? I change it, it becomes a vertical format. So I can position it where I want, vertical format. And because it's an original ratio, I can still pull. I can still position wherever I want it. Right? So let's say I want a tighter crop. All right, tighter crop. Right? I'm happy, I apply. Right? And this is it. This is cropped, and you're seeing it fit. I can even zoom in to see 100% zoom. Okay? When you're in 100% zoom, you can navigate under here. You see? You can navigate here. You can move it around, right? So once you're happy, you go back to fit. Let me see whether I can find this. Wait, I forgot. Okay, there's a new features, but I forgot a shortcut key that you can bring out. Maybe I'll show you. Let's see whether I can find focus, show focus mark. Okay, Alt Shift J, huh? This tells you where are the focusing that are sharpest in the photo. It uses something like an AI technology. Even though you use single spot, it will still show these are the sharpest point on the photo. So in other words, the eyes are sharp. The beak is sharp. Some of the feathers here are sharp. That's why here they are a bit blurred. So you can actually check your focusing, right? So it's Alt Shift X. Nope. Let's clear that up again. Go on. Okay. So next thing that you want to do is we haven't even gotten into effects where you can do a lot of things, right? Develop, effects, and vocal. Portrait is for doing a model shoot and things like that. So let's say I go back to here. We are still on develop. What I want is I want to bring in some what do you call that? Okay. I want to bring in some effects to show you. Okay, so for instance, these effects are what I call filters that you put on top of your camera. So you can add an effect. And there are 30 of them here. All right, when they first started, it was 20. Now it's up to 30 effects. And now, here they call effects. Originally, it was called filters. All right, so for instance, you can convert this to a black and white at a click. And it becomes a black and white. All right, and all these are customizable. You can go and change any of these colors. All right, you can do a tonal adjustment if you want. Let's say I want it a bit more. All right, and at the bottom, I can put in a film grain. You know, during the film days, every film has its own characteristic. And On1 has given you a selection of films. If you know your film, characteristic, you can put them in. Some people will like a 400, all right? And you can actually customize the size of the grain until you are happy. Okay? So this is just black and white. Let me add another filter on top of that. So I want to put a sunshine on top of my black and white. Okay, I want a strong sunshine. It will not come across nice because it's already black and white. So you can actually switch off your black and white to go back to color, right? And you have a sunshine filter on top of it. And each of these effects has an opacity, right? Let's say I take a natural and I can turn down the opaque, the transparency, so that it's not that much. You can also turn down the amount, right? Same thing you can do for the black and white. So this is what I'm saying, that you can stack filters on top of each other. You can go on, you can switch off, you don't like it, right? Don't like it, you can delete it. So to me, this is very, very powerful. Okay, so let's go to another one. So let's say I say, okay, this one cancel already. I call it done. Okay, let's pick up another one. Let's do a landscape. Okay, So I pick
Sorry,
this.
sorry, Benedict.
Yep.
Sorry, have to interrupt you. There's there's one member recommend you to set your screen resolution to lower, so it become bigger on the front screen.
Set my screen resolution lower.
Is it possible to do it?
That will affect all my layout, you know.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
You know, that will affect my
Maybe
layout.
next time.
Yeah,
Okay,
right?
Okay, we'll continue.
So, okay, let's say when I do an edit, is this too big? You want me to size this down? Hello? Okay. We move on now. Okay. So take this landscape, for instance. What attracted me was a red little hut set against a very jagged mountain. And this was shot in Iceland. So same thing. Normally the first thing I want to do is, right, I want to go and crop it, original. I want to crop it tighter. And you can see there are grid lines here for you to lay out. You want to do your rules of thirds and everything. It's all there, right? And when you're ready, you apply. Okay. Okay, I want to bring up this left panel. The left panels are presets given by On1 Photo Raw when you first buy the software. These are all your getting started. So for instance, some are also given as a loyalty reward every year. So you have many black and whites, right? And you have cinema look, you have color graded look, you have culinary, you have ocean, many, right? So all these are your getting started. So for instance, I just click on this color graded. So color graded will put this photo into all these different color grading presets. You can enlarge it and you see all of this, right? So that photo is presented to you in different presets. So you pick whichever you like. So just pick this one, right? So this one has been picked, and now this photograph is using that color presets. Color presets or any presets is a starting point. So let's say I go to this effects, and for this particular preset, it has used tone enhancer. All right, if I show tone enhancer, this is what it has done. You want to switch it off, there's a little bit of tone enhancement. All right. The other one that has done is sharpening. So let's say if I just close this, I open sharpening, and it shows that the sharpening has been done. So I click off, on. So you see the sharpening, right? So these are starting point. Whether you want to accept this or you say, I don't want the sharpening, no, you can remove it altogether. And you can continue adding your own. So let's say I want to add a photo filter, right? This is a photo filter. I want to add a warm, cool filter, right? Don't worry, we can color correct it. And this warm, cool filter gives me two colors, color 1 and color 2, because it's bi-color. I mean, I have two colors to choose from. So the top one is this hue color. You can also limit that. And the bottom, I don't like that. I want something for the bottom that is more yellowish and towards what I saw earlier, right? So something like that, okay? So I put two filters, top and bottom. But that's not the end. You can go and correct top half, distance. Look, I want to bring it down or bring it up, right? So I can bring my filter up to the level that I feel comfortable, and that's what I want. And you can choose the transition. This transition will transition between color 1 and color 2. You see? See that? You see? All right? So you are controlling the filter very much like putting two missing filter one on top of each other. And you can go on and on, which is why I enjoying this software so much. Okay, why not? I like the rate. So let me add another filter on top of the two filter. I want to put, I want to enhance the color, right? I want to pick a rate that I can enhance. So this is red. I'm picking red, and I can make the red more red or less red, right? Right? Of course, I can do masking and everything, but this is a quick way of enhancing a color. So after that, it's like anything else you want to do, you can add. Remember, I can stack and stack and stack. I can stack a vignette. One of my favorite is the big softy. So there you go. I have a vignette is on top of it. I can choose the size of the vignette. You see? I can choose the brightness, right? I can choose whether it's square or round, right? Not very apparent here. And you can set how much is the transparency of the vignette so that it won't be too obvious, right? And once it's done, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 filters on top of it already. Okay, so you can go on and on, right? So we call this done. All right, let's go to the next one. So I hope I'm not going too fast, huh? All right. So we have done that. Okay, why don't we do this one? This is the finished shot of the tiger. So if I bring it up big, you can see. The original shot was this. So what I did is I make a duplicate and I remove everything. So let's edit this photo. Okay, bring it to edit. So this, again, a shot in India. You look at the, hang on, I don't want the left panel, so I want to close it out. Okay, so info, 400 mm lens with a 1.4 teleconverter becomes 560 mm. ISO 32-1500 f13. So that's the information. Okay, so look at the NAV. It's pretty far away from where we were in the coach. It was like almost 200 meters. So those who are shooting with mobile phone will not be able to get this. Okay, let's go cropping again. All right, original ratio. I just pull any of the 4 corners, pull it in. Pull it right in. Don't worry. So, okay, so where you want to position it, it's up to you. Okay, let's tighten it up somewhat. Okay, apply. Okay, so this is the original. All I've done so far is just crop it. So if I preview, no changes made. All right, original and preview. So what I'll do is I go AI auto. Right, I'm still on standard. I'm leaving it on standard. I do AI auto. All right, and see what I get. Change. Why don't I warm it up a bit? Right, I can warm it up a lot if I want. Warm it up a bit. Right, I want the title to be warmer. Okay, so then after that, let me introduce you to an effect. Okay, remember there are 30 effects here. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to lens blur. Lens blur, put a blur on the whole picture. So if I move this, you see everything is blurred. And okay, what I want to do is now introduce you a masking technique. All these filters or effects have this thing here that you can do masking with. So if I click that, yeah, show and hide mask, give me a mask. So this is the mask that I'll be working on. What I want to do is I want to create the lens blur outside the tiger, meaning I don't want the lens blur to affect the tiger. So in other words, I have to brush away the lens blur, right? So this is a brush, automatically it goes to your masking, and on top you see opacity is 100, so it's very soft. The feather is also very soft, and I can paint, right? So I can change the size. There's a size here. The faster way is like Lightroom, you do a left and right and bracket key, right? And you'll be able to mask, you see? So I'm painting the mask. I'm painting out the blur so that my tiger is sharp, all right? I'm painting out the blur, right? So there are many ways to do mask, but the fastest way to learn mask is through your filters and edit section, all right? So I want to create something that looks like maybe I was very close to the tiger and I shot it with a 1.2 lens or something. So you can be very accurate where you want to mask out. If you are wrong, you just go and change, paint in again, and you can go and paint this back in the blur. Okay? I don't have to be very accurate, but there are ways that you can actually use like paint out using a special what they call that sensitive brush that it will actually brush along the edges. So let's tune that a bit. Okay, so let's bring that back. All right. Okay. I'm doing a quick one. Okay. So let's say you want to view the mask. So the mask will be in red. So you know you have done some spill outside there. So you can actually go and clean it up. Now you go to your brush mode. So let's say, let me switch this off. So I go back to my normal brush and I can paint that out. All right, to clean it up. Okay, so this is just a quick job. You can actually go and do it properly and all the oops. Okay, so once you finish the masking, you can do the blurring more or less up to you. Okay, so I'm blurring the outside. Okay, okay, so I blur it a little bit. Okay, since we have created a mask, I can copy the mask. Okay, copy the mask, and I'll show you what. I copy the mask, it's already copied to the buffer. I add a sharpening filter. All right, this sharpening filter, again, I click on the mask. I can paste the mask that I have copied. So I don't have to recreate the mask. So I paste it and the mask is there. So if you look at the masking technology, there's black and there's white. Normally black means black cannot see. that means it's concealed. If it's white, that means it's revealing. So you have to remember VCRW. Black, concealed. R, reveal, is white. If you talk about our way of seeing, you will probably say, black cannot see ma, white sure can see one, you see? So you can remember that. So because I've copied the mask to sharpening, I can invert the mask. So the black becomes white and white becomes black. So what I'm doing is, I'm actually wanting to sharpen the tiger only. You know? So now this sharpening tool, I can sharpen the tiger, right? So how much I want to sharpen will depend on the halo and the amount and all that. So I can, you see, I can sharpen it. Of course, there's some patches that have to be removed, right? So I have two things here now I can manipulate. One is a lens blur, right? So lens blur, I can reduce the density because I'm quite happy with the sharpness already, right? So this will blend it a bit more. So I have done two things here, sharpening and lens blur using masking technique. Okay, so at the end of the day, you can continue doing. Okay, moving on to the next one. All right, I will show a couple more, and then after that, okay, I will click on this too. I will show you what I call brushing technique for replacement. You know, they are not side by side. So let me put them side by side. Okay, I can't. So I just minus it. Okay, there you go. This is the original photo, color corrected. All right, to a point that I'm quite happy. This is the finished product. All right, this was shot with a 100-400 lens across on the other side of the what I call the display area. And this lady actually posed for photographers for a prize. So I curi makan here lah. So this is a finished product. This one has a lot of tourists at the back. So on my photo raw, and it has a feature that allows you to clone from one area to another area. So you can see that I've cloned from here and brush in here. I've cloned and brush over the legs. And it's not a very good job, but never mind. You can show that the panel behind is also not very accurate. So I will show you about how to clone with this example. Okay, this is the finished product. This is completely raw, and I'll show you this very quickly. These are removing distraction. I mean, this is a nice photo, but these two guys are in the way. So I visualize it as a square photo, right? And I want to remove this guy. I'm already in edit mode. I go to retouch. Retouch, there are three ways to retouch. The first one is to quickly retouch this one that is on now. You just click on something. It's a smart retouching eraser tool. All right, it will pick from surrounding area and will, if not good, you do it again. All right, this is retouching. It's good for removing things like sensor, spots and all that. All right, it will do a good job. If it's not good, you just carry on top of it. All right, so you want to remove all the distraction. But the next one is we want to remove this guy on top. Okay, it's not a good job. So let's do another one. Okay, not so bad. So this is the clone, stem and clone, very much like the one in Photoshop. So what this allows you is you can clone from one area. let's say I want to clone from this bottom and replace the top. So I click a spot here with the Alt key, and you see I've already taken that, and I want to size it up a bit, and I want to clone that in, right? So I'm cloning that in, right, from the bottom, right? So I can go across, I can just continue doing it, right? I can change the position, right? Maybe I want to clone from here, and I can put it up there all the way until I'm sure that I created something, right? I want something more natural. So let me clone from here. I pick there, make it smaller, and I clone all the way in, right? So I want to clean that all up, right? Okay, I can click from here, and let me do this. I want to clean all up, all right? So that's a mistake. Never mind. Pick from another spot. Because these are all texture, these are sand, it's very easy to clone. Okay, once it's done, you click view, and more or less you can go and crop already. Okay, let's say before we crop, let's go back to our clone tool. So I want to give this penguin more to eat. So I can actually go and clone from the side here. I pick here, and I can just paint across for him, you know. Not so good there. So I clone from another place and just wipe it over. Not so good. So let's clean that up from here. Right? So the whole idea, you get the idea, picture that it can be cloned from anywhere. And after that, it's just a matter of going and do a crop. All right, so the ratio could be, let's try a square, right? So we can size the square and go within the frame that you want, right? So apply, and after that, you do your normal AI color correction and do your temperature, your contrast and everything to finish the product, okay? So that is an introduction to cloning. Okay, next one. So basically, I've done that. Okay, let's take this one. This is the original without color correction, without any correction. All right, this is shot in let's say Barcelona, and this is the Familia Sagrada church building. So add a filter. All right, let's try HDR. This is a HDR for just a single image. You don't need 2 or 3 images, and you can have a natural, a surreal type of thing, or you can even have a glow HDR, and you can actually have more detail or less detail. You can see, you can actually prep it up with more clarity and sharpness and things like that. Okay, you can create a variant. You can put a glow in. So this enhances a photograph quite easily. Okay? So if you look at this preview, before, after, this could be done. You know? Of course, you can add other things and things on top of it. So HDR is also a very powerful color tool. So cancel that. And any questions while I finish this section of the... No questions? Okay. So I've done this. So what I will do now is I will go to the albums, right? I will go to my favorites in my album. I will quickly go through some and show you what I've done and things like that. So it'll be very easy for me instead of actually giving the detail of how it's done. Okay, so I am my favorite. I click the yellow. So these are all my yellow stuff, right? So I start with this and I'll show you the animals. I'll show you landscape and I'll show you this one first, right? So bring it up full screen. I'm still in browse mode. Right. This was one of the first so-called creative thing that I did when I started in 2019 with On1 Photo Raw. I finished this, I posted it up on a few places and friends to see and I said, guess how this was done? And they came back and say, oh, zoom effect with a long lens. But I say, some are sharp. How do I get all those sharp? And some are blur. Okay. So the trick is, let me show you under edit. Right? Under edit, I didn't do anything on the tone and colors. Let's go to effects. Okay. Effects, I only have 3 filters. Right? If I switch off dynamic, I switch off enhance. It's already very flat. So I had to put this in. Okay. All right. But the trick is all under blur. If I remove blur, see what I get? This was the original photo. And by putting a blur effect on top of that and putting a mask, I'll let you see the mask. Right? This is the mask that I sharpened. Whereas outside the mask, everything was blur. Okay? And because of that, the birds are sharp and the rest are out of focus. Okay? Okay, so this is one example of how I do, and a lot of friends couldn't guess it. Right, so I go back to my here. This was shot in okay, the snow monkeys. Okay, again, lens blur, HDR look. See, put on a HDR, dynamic contrast. Okay. Okay, show you the lens blur. What did I do to it? Remember, black conceal, white reveal. So anything outside the red is blur. Right? So the blur only affected the white part. So that's why you see the blur and the 2 monkeys are sharp. Okay. Next one. Okay, this one. Again, when we were shooting there, it was winter, but we didn't have snow. All right? So you have to show a snow monkey in a winter environment with snow coming down. All right? So what I did was I have textures inserted, and these textures are winter textures. Winter textures. That was before 2020 when PR 2020 came out with textures. So let me switch this texture off and I add a filter that you can now get, which is weather. I can put in weather now. What weather do you want? I want a blizzard. It's too much. Or I want winter is coming, perhaps. This is better. So I'm putting in snowdrops into this. How much snowdrop do you want? You can set. All right? You can set. And you can set top up, bottom up, distancing, and all that stuff. All right? You see snow drops on the monkey's face. We talk about masking. All right? I can go and mask out. No, I don't want to mask out, sorry. I want to go and clone away. I want to remove some of that, sorry. No, I got to go back to my weather, and I want to, hang on, lost me here. I want to go into my weather, and I want to take this and remove. Okay, lost me here, but I can actually go and clean up some of this snowflakes from the face so that the face is clearer. Okay, so there's a way to brush away the snowflakes. Okay, so sorry about that. And so this, but you can see that we can put in snowflakes, we can put in this one. This was taken in South Africa. There you are, from a helicopter. I had a polarizer on, and I could shoot through the glass. But one of the photo filter is also available as a polarizer somewhere. There you are. So I've checked the polarizer, and with this polarizer, you can actually correct what a polarizer does. Can you imagine? All right? All right, so all this can be done digitally now. All right? Next one. The bird. All right. Again, the lens blur was used. You see, the lens blur was used on the left, so it's blurred. The sharpening was done on the head. All right, let me just show you the sharpening. The sharpening view. See, the head was sharpened with a mask. So outside where the red portions are, it's not sharpened. Okay, so let's cancel that. I got to go faster. I already have 1.5 hours already. Not yet. Okay, so let's go and close this up, and let me take the models. All right, let's go for the models now. The models. This is what I call the models. Okay, portraiture. This one, I did. This was taken in India. He's a guard in a museum. I asked him for permission. He said okay. And I took a few photographs of him and I showed it to him. So again, black and white. Without black and white, it's in color. So by putting in the black and white, you control more of the black and white, including the red color. I've enhanced the red color, which is the turban, right? So let's say I remove this, and then you will see. See? So the red has been enhanced selectively. Okay? And so okay. This is a professional model taken in Italy, right? And I will show you the before and after. So I click preview. This is before. It was pretty good. The lighting was just a reflector underneath here, underneath the chin. One reflector, and it was shot during daylight. Okay. So what did I do? Let's see. Portraits. I've used portrait. You see, portrait to enhance the top part, and then the skin has been corrected and the eyes whitening with a little bit more detail. Okay, so let's say if I should keep looking at the eye, see any slight difference? Let's put it more. See? So using portrait, you can do wonders to the eye. You can remove blemishes or take back and you see more blemishes. You see? Right? So that has been done with a portrait. The other one that I use under effects is just a vignette. Right? So show you where the vignette was placed. See? Where was the vignette placed? You can click here to place the vignette where you want. This is shaping a photograph with the craft of lighting. Okay? Right? So you place the lighting where you want it, and you can, of course, create the brightness that you want. And so on. Okay. This is just a fun shot. Okay. See, the bird is coming, it's flying down, and the wings are blurred. And it's very easy. I just use a blur and blur the outside. All right. So you get a bit of movement. Whereas everything else is in sharpness. Okay, show you the effects. Okay, this one I use layers. Okay, this is the first time I'm showing you layers. There are 3 layers here. I took this small little fish from another photograph and merged it to the final. You're looking at the final now. So let's say I switch that off, switch this on. That's where I have used this photograph as the main photograph, and the other photograph where the fish is. And I mask it and put it together. So I took away this eagle and I only used that little bit of fish from that. And finally, it is composited into one. So I can actually switch the other 2 off, right? And this blur effect, I will show you that it can be done, okay? So it is good fun. There are a lot of additional finite details that you can actually experiment and keep going, right? This was the Chinese New Year Cheongsam shoot that PSPJ, organized. And I'll just show you what I did to the original. The original was that, it was kind of flat. All right. So what did I do? I took it into develop, and I created some minus exposure, added some contrast, and very importantly, I went into effects. Okay, I had a glow on. You see that? A little bit of glow. But the important thing is, again, the vignette, where it was placed. So again, let me just show you where the vignette was placed. All right. Okay. So the vignette was placed on the right side, somewhere here, to show that the light was shining through there. And so. Okay, this was another one of the models. Quick look. Okay. Again, effects. In a minute. I want to check to see whether I use portrait. Huh? I don't think I used portrait, or I did. I used portrait again. You can see a little bit of the correction there. A bit on the eyes again. But my favorite is vignette. Show you where I position the vignette. Okay. That's where the vignette was located. So you have created a lighting, soft lighting. You can even soften more with the opacity or more. Okay. So, which is why I am learning a lot using this software. It's not that difficult. Remember, it's non-destructive, and you can continue working until you are happy with it, right? You can save everything up and come back later. And okay, so now what I will want to show you is my final section in terms of editing capabilities and what I was doing during lockdown. Okay, hang on now. Nope, not here. So let me see, where did I put that? Okay. Okay, it's here. Okay, let me show you this one. Red color, landscape. Landscape only. Okay, these are landscape only. All right, start with this. This is a panorama stitching. 7 or 9 photos, I can't remember, shot vertically and stitched together inside of On1 Photo Raw. It does a pretty nice job, including all the rest of the things. Some of this has been touched up. I've removed one distracting set of things here, right in the middle, so you have a view that goes across, right? Other than that, it's like things has been enhanced to bring out the colors. And this is a vineyard. So, quick effects. I have a sunshine filter, vignette, color enhancer. Let's look at the color enhancer. Okay, color enhancer. Pick the foliage. That means I'm picking only the green, right? Green. So I can enhance green, only the green, right? That's how you improve the color compensation of your photo. Cancel that. Running out of time already. Okay, Taj Mahal. Okay, before that I showed them. Okay, let's do a Taj Mahal first. This was sunrise. It's about 7:30, 7:50 a.m. in the morning. Right? It's a different interpretation. Okay, and all that is done with just 3 filters. Okay, switch off the sun flare so you get an idea. We normally shoot something like this. You have the sun there, you can enhance the sun with the background. All right, switch off the color filter, and this is very normal. It's gray tone, and you have to do post-processing. So put in the photo filter where I put in a layer. Remember, I showed you earlier, 2 layers of photo, one on top of each other, right? But the important thing is the sun flare. Once the sun flare goes in, it totally changes the whole mood of the photo. And you get all these little speckles that, to me, is like depth of field. Just Taj Mahal. Okay.
Benedict,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. We have new questions on the Facebook comments from Ellen Hui. She asks, okay, I read her question. Since there is no need to import photos to On1, is any editing done in it won't affect the copy of original source? That's the first question.
Okay, I can answer that. Since it is not imported, just like Lightroom, where you have to import before you can edit, On1 Photo Raw allows you to edit straight off from any connected device. If you had copied your photos into your hard disk, let's say you have created D drive and you call it My Photos, you can start editing those photos without importing. And those photos are not changed, meaning it's like Lightroom. Your original remains, your raw TIFF or JPEG remains native, original. It's untouched. On1 Photo Raw will create its own, what they call a side file that attaches to your original file. I can show that to you afterwards. So it's very easy. You just copy the 2 files and you can edit it anywhere that you have On1 Photo Raw installed.
Okay. Okay. Another question. She said, if yes, any deletion of photo in On1 accidental or not, will not remove the original file.
If you click on one from the gallery, browse model, and right-click and delete, you will delete the original, just like you would do in Lightroom. Lightroom gives you an option: delete from Lightroom catalog or delete entirely from the hard disk. Right? So you have to be careful. If you wrongly deleted it, it will go into your trash bin or your recycle bin, which you can recover.
Do you mean inside the On1?
Yeah, I can go, if I want to delete this file, I can right click and you see all these, you can delete now. Once you delete, it's gone forever.
Oh, okay. It's like the file explorer inside the window.
Exactly. So you right click, you have all these settings that you can use.
Oh, okay.
Right? And you can delete like an explorer.
Okay.
It will go away.
Also, another question is from me.
Okay, sure.
Okay. I wonder. Okay, when we do backup for the photo that we edited with On1, do we just backup the file, or we need to backup the file with the side file that you mentioned?
Yes, you need to backup 2 files. Basically, your raw file is your original. You have already backed that up into a USB drive somewhere. When you finish editing, you have to copy all the On1 file over, so you will retain all your edits.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll be looking at your original unedited file.
Okay. Later maybe you can show us what's the
I
site
show you where.
files. Okay.
Exactly.
Later on. Okay. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. Okay, so let's go to this one, last one in this series, to show you that, okay, we'll wait for it to load. Okay, this is a very famous scene in Tuscany. It's something like, what's the name already? Something Belvedere. Podero Belvedere. All photographs must go and shoot this scene. All right, and we were brought there very early, 6:30 in the morning. And my friends, there were about 8 photographers all shooting there. But I wanted a higher perspective. So I went on top, I shot it, and I removed all of them and left one person using on-one photo raw. So I already showed you that you can remove distraction. So I did that for this shot. All right? And the original of this, you will not be able to see the people, but this was the morning shot that, everybody will go and shoot. And the floor were muddy, our shoes were all wet and soaked. I think I lost a pair of shoes after that. So, effects. Sun flare was added in, then they removed that. So, minimize that. Just show you the HDR only. So this is only the HDR look, right? It brings out the color depth. You can see HDR is very good in the highlight and shadow, and it should bring out the shadows. But I wanted something more. I wanted a bit of grunge, because that morning it was very difficult to shoot. The condition was not ideal for photographer. And because On-One 2020 has a sun flare filter, why not? I use a sun flare to finish it off. Sun flare filter can be many, right? You can choose all kinds of sun flare filters, that you like, and you can position it where you want. Right? You might like this, right? Including the rays and everything. And you can set how warm the flare has to be. Yeah? So it's up to the photographer's imagination, right? There's no right or no wrong. That's what I've been told, right? So if you don't do digital tweaking and post-processing, I would say you'll be losing out, right? 12, 15 years ago, when I first started shooting, everyone says, whatever you shoot must be correct in the camera, right? You cannot do post-processing. But as the years went by, you will realize 99% of photos are tweaked and edited and post-processed. Especially if you ask the photographer, are you shooting raw? If you are shooting raw, you must edit it. Otherwise, it will look so weird and flat, right? I'll give you the preview. This was how it was when I shot it. It was dull, it was flat, and no way you can show this to any of your friends to say that I went for a sunrise in the Tuscany, countryside, right? You show them, okay, this is what they were expecting. And a lot of the photos taken in this area are all being tweaked and photoshopped.
Oh, Benedict, sorry to interrupt again.
Yep.
And we have a new question from Wesley.
Yep.
He asked, the question is, can it edit Olympus raw files?
Yes, I'm sure it can.
Benedict, does it have a lot of the codec for all the various companies?
Yes. Yes, they have a whole range of supported RAW files from different cameras. Of course, it depends on which model of your cameras. It's available on the ON1 website. Right? If you don't find it there, you can actually send an email to support. Their support is very efficient. You'll get a reply within 24 hours. I've sent quite a few to them and I get reply. After that, after this, I will show you how to look up on the website for different type of support and samples of videos and all that.
Normally those are under plugin one, right? Do they use plugin? That means you will go to your help there, click the help, and like other software, you click on the help and then you can actually install the plugin or updated version of the codec. Do they have such thing, or you have to write to them?
No. Every upgrade, whether it's point upgrade or full version upgrade, they will add in the new camera RAW profiles for you, right? So let's say you have a new camera that's launched tomorrow, right? ABC 123, all right? Definitely you cannot edit a RAW file from that camera using this version. Maybe the next version that they release, let's say .5, which is coming up next week, they will announce the new cameras that are added in for the RAW recognition, right? So you can wait for it. So in the meantime, if you cannot edit RAW, then you have to convert the RAW to a DNG, JPEG, or TIFF, then you can edit. All right? So that's one of the reasons why I stopped Lightroom perpetual license. Because I know if I buy a new camera that's launched now, the RAW will not be supported in the Lightroom that I was working, the perpetual license one. You see? I hope I answered that question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any more
questions?
questions?
I think about the raw file support is quite similar to other software as well.
Exactly, like Adobe Lightroom, for instance, if they don't give you the camera RAW for the new camera, you cannot edit.
Also, we need to upgrade the Adobe RAW as well.
Exactly. But this one, no, this one they will give it to you during the upgrade process. When you download the let's say the free upgrade, a .5 or whatever, if there's a new camera supported, all that will be downloaded automatically and installed into your computer.
Is the raw let's say it's a raw engine for the ON1. Okay, let's say we have a new camera and they will also release the raw codec, something like that, decoder for it. Then is it possible that we use that decoder to that particular new model camera and to connect it to ON1? Is that possible?
I haven't tried that, but my guess is it's not possible. It must come from raw, the raw camera info or whatever metadata file must come from ON1 themselves. Then it will be installed in the background.
So is the ON1 raw engine is a independent program, or is integrated into the ON1 raw?
It is very much integrated. Very much integrated into the whole software, because now they call it one suite ON1 Photo RAW.
Oh, okay.
Everything is there, right? So you don't have to think about adding plugins and all that. Of course, you have other plugins that you can add in. You know there are other plugins you can add in that can work together with ON1. All right.
Oh, okay. So any third-party plugin that can be used with the ON1 Photo RAW?
Not really. You have to check whether it's compatible. There are many textures that we get that is compatible, and they will tell you how to install the texture. Just like the weather scene that I used earlier for the snow monkeys. that came from a third-party source, and when I bought that, they tell you that this is compatible with On1, compatible with Photoshop, and it's compatible with Lumina. And they will give you 3 different files to install, because each program has their own way of installing the software into the particular section of the software to make it compatible.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Let me
I
cancel
think
this.
we continue the
Okay.
next one.
So let's see. Let me go to these 3 photos. During MCO lockdown, I started experimenting and I started learning about texture mapping. Texture, right? So what I did is, okay, let's start with this tiger. Okay, this tiger was shot like the earlier tiger that I showed in India, Ranthambore. This was a tiger. So you see, it was shot with a lot of distraction. And of course, when you're on a safari, any animal that comes, you shoot, right? I was quite lucky. He was coming towards us. He was looking at us, right? So what I did is, underdeveloped, increase a bit of contrast, some highlights, blah, 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 the usual way that you do, right, to bring the color out. But most of the effects are done using texture. If I remove the texture, you see, it's all gone. Even though you have vignettes, LUTs, photo filter, HDR, that is just for the color. But I want to merge or blend in a texture to show that this photograph was taken like a fine art type of photo. So that's texture. Show you how the texture was inserted. Okay. So when you buy the software, it comes with a lot of textures. You can also create your own texture. You take a photo of a studio somewhere that you think can be a texture, then you install it as a texture in the library. So what is important is this texture is replaced. It replaces everything, instead of putting something that is otherwise what they call that subtle, lighter, darker, it doesn't replace. So it must replace. And of course, in order to replace it, you must be able to mask it out. So you mask out the place. These are places that I've masked out to say that I want to keep this tiger and the rest will be replaced. Right? So there's a lot of masking doing. Right? And after masking, then only you can control what you want. So I already put in the texture now. Right? And this one is my texture. Since I already masked it, I can put in any other texture that I have in my library. Right? The mask is done. So, right? So after you put in the texture, there are a lot of commands. Now you're doing command to affect the texture. Okay? So you can even change the color of the texture you put in. Right? Not a problem. So once you have done all that, then the vignette and all that comes in. All right, I always finish with the vignette. All right, so again, I show you where the vignette is. You see the line coming in on the side? So I created a vignette on the side. Oh no, this is a center vignette, sorry. Okay, let's change the direction of the vignette. Shape this, right? Doesn't like that. Again. Not registering. No, it's not registering. I don't know why. Anyway, you can reposition the vignette, and I do that all the time. Okay. Next one, again. The two monkeys. I will quickly show you the before and after. It's taking a while to load, right? So preview before, right? There's a monkey shot in front of the hot spring. This is the foliage and the jungle behind. So right. So same thing under effects, textures. Right. Okay. Those texture did the trick to blend in a different background. But weather will also allow me to put snowdrops as I illustrated earlier. All right. So originally, this is the snowdrop plugin, and you can actually scale it if you want. Make it very small or very big, or you change the opacity so that you don't see so many of it. And as I said, you can even brush out some of this. Right. So last one that I did was this eagle. So just a quick preview and you'll get an idea. In a minute, it's loading. All right. This was an eagle. It was shot because the eagle was sitting on this, what they call that, railing here. And the restaurant was behind and we were outside. So eagle is nice, but the surrounding doesn't give you the kind of mood that I wanted to create. So again, same thing, texture and a lot of blending. Okay, so that will give you an idea of the power of this software. And basically, that's a lot that you can do, right? A lot that you can do with this software. You're not limited to what I've just shown you, right? Because there's a lot more you can do, right? Okay, so that will end my presentation on this software. Now I jump to what On1 offers you. And that's a special gift for you coming up.
Benedict,
Question?
yes, I have a question. It's from Wesley also. He mentioned just now how to put the watermark for the photo.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay. The question is how to do the watermark, how to insert watermark.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say we just take a photo. Okay, we just take anyone, like this one that we haven't seen. Okay. So let's say you're finished all the editing, you like this, you want to export it already. Okay. So you go to export. Right? When you go to export, a new screen comes up. This will dim. So it will allow you to customize where or size that you want to export this to in inches, cm, mm, right, or pixels, right? And what's the resolution that you want? Image type, you can use the on1 resize, so you can resize to a much bigger size with minimum loss of quality. This is where the watermark is, right? And of course, you can choose JPEG files or TIFF files or DNG, and you can put the location where you want it, and you can rename the file, right? So you can rename the file, the text file, as your name, right, Ben, and you can choose current name, or you can put a text, right? Your text is, right, demo, right, demo, and you can even add current name, a new serial number, let's say 001, and it will continue from there. All right. So the important thing is watermark. Okay. So the watermark is you can bring in a file. All right. So I have a file, so I can choose a white file, or I can bring in a black file from somewhere, and you can see it overlaid there already. Right? You can do a size. You can reposition this where you want it, and you can insert it. Okay, go down here, make it smaller first, right? And you can insert it inside, right? Or you can put it in the middle, and you can insert it higher or size it up. Okay, so it's up to you to do that. And quality, rotation, and let me see. That should be one. We say the opacity. Is brightest, less bright. Okay, so you decide. So after that, you just export. It will be there. So there's a way that you can type that in as well, and bring it in, and then set the opacity. All right. I hope I can answer that fairly well.
Sorry, interrupt again. Okay. Just now, your logo file. What kind of logo file you putting?
This logo was created Photoshop text file. All right.
Is a JPEG or any other for?
I think it is Photoshop with transparency on.
PNG?
It can be DNG, it can be JPEG. It doesn't need to be very high quality.
As long as a transparency background.
Yeah, transparency. Okay. Right, and of course you can bring in the color, but I have two versions. One is black and one is white, and the other one is black. So depending, where you want to put. Most of the time I use white.
Oh, okay.
Any more questions?
So far, no question.
Where's Edwin? Is Edwin still around?
Edwin? Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Okay. So I've done my presentation. Now I will.
Oh, sorry. Benedict, Wesley asked again. Another question: can the software crack watermark?
Can the software crack a watermark? It's like you have a watermark. You have a Photoshop. Can the Photoshop brush over a watermark and replace it.
I think he meant is the on one photo raw can create the watermark file itself. I think this is his question, right?
I think what it means is can use on one to actually remove the watermark.
Remove or create? I think
Let's say you steal somebody's photos, you want to use on one to remove its watermark and claim the photo is yours, for example.
Okay, claiming it to be yours is of course you're infringing a copyright lah. But you want to replace a logo or watermark. On one has the tools like Photoshop that allows you to do that.
no. I think the
Create
question create
create.
wise guy is mentioned that to create a watermark from the
You make
on
it.
one. Yeah, to
You
make it.
make one.
Yeah.
Okay, on one has a text file that you can use to create text, but it doesn't have the fancy type of fonts that you can use like within Photoshop that create the fanciful type, right? Photoshop is more of a graphic layout software that can do wonderful things with text, right? So ideally you create your logo from somewhere else, right? So I myself don't use it to create here. Just like in Lightroom allows you to type in text, and Lightroom has a selected number of font type that you can use, right? And that's about it. If you want something special, you bring in as a graphic file and you can insert it in. That would be ideal.
Okay, I think.
Any more questions?
Oh no question.
Okay, my 2 hours is up already, I think.
I think it's okay. This should be fine.
Okay.
Because you some of the things you need to explain in detail, so I think it's quite good.
So I will now show you the On One website, right, to tell you what they have. And of course, I don't benefit from any of this. I don't get a commission. I'm not an On One ambassador. I'm just sharing because I love this software and I'm still learning. After 1 year, there's still a lot to learn. Okay, what they are announcing is this. Available this June, and June is coming up. They are announcing take your photography anywhere. On One 360 allows you to let me see, where's the thing? Allows you to, okay, let me just click this. Take your photo from your iPhone or Android, put it up in the cloud, and then you can edit it on your tablet or on your desktop. That is what On One 360 is all about. Okay, for instance, you have taken a photo shoot, you put it in your tablet or your laptop, and you can select those files that you want to put up onto On One cloud. Once it's up on the On One cloud, you can view it on your your mobile phone, and when you go back, you can edit it on your PC or Mac. Right? So you can edit it from anywhere. And this is what On One 360 is all about. Okay, and they are launching it next week. Okay. Talk about video library. I mentioned that there are many courses available. So, for instance, these are courses that you can actually go and view on one website. Okay. You want to talk about effects that I mentioned? There are 274 video that you can go and learn, right? Some of these are on OnePlus.
Benedict, is all these videos accessible by public?
Yes.
I mean non how to say non-subscription member. I mean
Okay.
Viewer.
You don't have to be a user. You don't have to be a paid user to access this.
Oh, okay.
These are readily available, except those that you see on OnePlus.
Oh,
On OnePlus are those that you have to pay. That is on OnePlus, right? If I remove the effects, you're looking at on OnePlus only. These are membership that you pay, right? You pay an annual, and you get special tutorials, right? Not available by anybody else.
So let's say if I bought the license for the On1 Photo Raw, am I entitled to access this?
No, you have to pay this membership.
Oh, this is a
separate membership. So this is for people who are very serious and they want to learn certain things. Like color management is a whole new world on its own, you know. Yeah, right. So these are not generally available, right? And there are 245. But even without that, you can see all this 553, 429, 525, 563.
Thousands.
There are plenty for you to pick up and learn, you know. So I've learned on one from a lot of these tutorials, right? I know this guy, you know, does a lot of tutorials. He works for on one. He comes out every week with new tutorials, right? So plenty of free video tutorials, right? On one support, this is also on the website. You can log into this if you're a Windows user, log into this if you're a Mac user, and you can post questions, you can ask the other forum user to help solve your problem. Right? So no problem. I think Lightroom has that, others will have that as well. Okay. On1 Photo Mobile 2020. This is the thing I'm waiting for, because this software is going to be free. You can install it and download it from Apple Store or your Google Android store. And this allows you to shoot near raw quality, and it will come with an editing capability on your mobile phone. Of course, they want you to subscribe to the 360 so that from here you can upload to the cloud, and when you get home or you go to your studio, you can edit on your desktop. Okay, so this is going to be available. And quick FAQ to tell you what this is all about. Okay. Where is the one that says okay, on one photo mobile? Here they say single app for capturing, editing, and syncing photos. If you don't sync, you still can use it. More than a basic RAW processor. Mobile uses the same RAW processing engine developed for Photo RAW. Adjustments of exposure, contrast, shadows, mid-tone, highlight, white, blacks, all these are now available for you on your mobile phone, right? So this will be launched by 30th June, right? Available for both iOS and Android and it's free for everyone.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So this is a tip. Wait for it. Go on to our on1.com website and download. All right. Yeah. On1 Photo Raw is free. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. This is the part I want to show you. The free version allows you with camera control to capture with manual control, and you have a raw capture inside your mobile. You can, after that, use the software to adjust color and tone. You can sharpen and do noise reduction of your mobile phone photos. There are effects given, and you can even create albums. You can do culling, assign likes and 5-star ratings and everything. So all these are available free. Okay, if you go on with the 360, then you have other sync effects that you can do to send the photos up to the cloud. All right. Yeah. On1 Mobile will be made available in the Apple Store and Google Play Store by 30th June. What is the version that you need? Your Apple iOS must be 13. Most of it are already available. And your Android 7 are already 64-bit. So there you go. On1 is not just a small company. They do have long-term plans, and I've been following them for about 6-7 years already. So that just about ends what I plan to show. And I will take more questions now, or you want me to go back to do more
Big
demos?
Joe, beat on my song. Oh yeah, Big Joe, beat on my
Can you
song.
go back to Hong Kong, you stupid faggot? Fuck.
Oh, Daddy, your cock is too big. Fuck, nigger.
Hello, I would like
Oh,
to
I
order a
think-
dog. I want a dog.
We got Zoom, what do you call that?
we got someone.
I want dog.
We have to get rid of that person. Have to remove that person. We
I
have
think
to.
they are.
Me chicken lo mein. I want chicken lo mein.
Who's this?
Chicken lo mein. I'm Jin Jong Un.
We have to delete him and mute him. Because the guy,
Yes.
we can't find him.
Oh, they already deleted.
Deleted,
Yes.
How did he go in?
I think they saw our link. Never mind. It's being solved.
Okay. So that's about end my presentation, and basically I love this software and I'm still learning. All right. So I hope there will be more people who get attracted to this and get inspired. It's not too late to take up post-processing, not too late to start enhancing your photos. It's fun.
Oh, okay. Nice. Wesley said thanks a lot. Also we have a lot of friends, PSPJ members. Thank you for the sharing.
Oh, everyone is welcome. If you need any more info, just get in touch with me. Right, I'm always willing
Yes,
to
of
share.
course. Yeah,
Right?
this is a really great sharings. I think a lot of people are new to the on1 photo raw. Even me. So I think I'll use some of my time to explore on it.
Very good.
The
Download
mobile
the,
one is free. Then the mobile one is 30th June. Will be available. Is it?
yes,
Mobile.
I would say by Monday you should be able to check to see whether the mobile is available. Right. Not only that, you can download a trial version of PhotoRaw 2020. Right. My advice is don't buy the $49.99 version yet, because by August or September they will come out with PR 2021. And if you have bought the 2020 in July, you will still have to pay for the upgrade.
Oh,
You
okay.
wait for around maybe early August,
Mhm.
then they will say any purchase in August, we'll give you a free upgrade to 2021.
Oh.
The price may be slightly higher than the current $49.99.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I would still say wait. Download the trial first.
Behind this thing.
Sorry, who's talking? Patrick, are you talking?
Huh? No.
Oh, okay. Also, Benedict,
Yeah.
any new update for the on one Fotoro?
Well, we wait for 30th June, then I can announce it onto the WhatsApp group to say, you can go to your Apple Store or to your Android Google Store and download this software. It's free.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's about it from me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, nice. Today we learned a lot from Benedict.
Well, all in, how many people attended, do you think?
Let me see. Now we have around 10.
10.
Yeah. I think some of them maybe they leave earlier for
Yeah,
rest.
no problem.
Now it's almost 12 midnight.
No problem.
Huh.
I will thank everyone.
Oh
who
yeah,
has
we have
listened
a
in.
new question from Wise Guy. He asked, how long is the trial version? Is it mean by how long you can use it or when?
Yeah, you can use it for 30 days, right? 30 days, because when you download, they will ask for your email address. And once they have the email address, the software will check the licensing against the database. So after 30 days or even before, they will give you warning. They want you to buy.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So you have the 14 days to 30 days or 14 days?
30 days, 30 days.
30
Yeah.
days. 1 month. Oh.
Yes.
Okay. 1 month you have the full all functions.
All functions, no watermark, no copyright, and things like that.
Okay. Okay.
But once you register, they will send you marketing materials almost every 2 days.
Right. Okay, I think no question. A lot of thank you.
Yeah, I'm just reading now because I didn't have time to read. So now I can read all those from Wesley, from Wise Guy, Kelvin, Patrick, Julie. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, Wise Guy, I think he got something to share. Maybe he's the next person to say something. I'm looking forward.
Yeah. Next time, Wise Guy, Aziman should come on.
Yeah. Cannot hear you, but I see your face smiling.
There you are.
I don't have much. I'm still a novice.
Why?
Nothing much to share. Still crawling, yeah.
Oh, don't worry. We are all brothers.
Yeah. But great sharing.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
when you are going to share?
I don't have much material.
No, we can sometimes we can sharing the skill or sharing photo or other experience you have before. All these are good sharing. So,
I don't have much skill.
Photo? You have many photo.
I haven't compiled. I haven't done any slide yet.
No worry. You prepare yourself. I'll look for you.
Mr. President.
Do it in front of your own computer. Then you are very familiar.
Mr. President, I've been asking me from last year,
Wow, since last year you still don't want.
I don't have the material.
No, just sharing photo. Don't need to share too much. I think you have thousands of photo in your hard disk.
Not that many.
Just choose like 20 or 30 photo.
I give a thought with maybe before year end.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, guys, see you.
Homeless. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We agree already. It's next.
Yeah.
before year end.
Before year end. Now next month also before year end.
Oh, too early. Merdeka Day, too early.
Okay. Give you some time to compound. I think I want to highlight here that any member they want to have even though you are not sharing, you have something to discuss or you have something to ask. I think you can like share your screen, then you try to do something or you try to edit something but you don't know how to do it, you just share your screen. I think a lot of member here willing to share the knowledge with you on the spot. Is that correct? Instead of
Yeah.
sharing your own thing, you can share your question. Let's say I don't know how to edit this, or I try to do this, but I cannot achieve that result. Then we can you can like come here. Everyone here willing to help or give you a tips, because we all learning from mistake or we have some experience before we can share. I think benefit you agree on this, right?
Definitely. I mean, we are very open. This is
Yeah.
this is a closed group, isn't it? This is a private forum. Is this streamed into Facebook?
Yes.
Today?
Yes.
Today is streamed to Facebook.
Yes.
So
I think
I see.
some members they like to learn or they love to know some more extra knowledge. So I think your topics today is quite beneficial to many who don't know about the on one photo raw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a really good sharing. Maybe
Yeah.
next time if anyone want to know more about the photo raw again, I'll call you up.
Yeah, no problem, no
Uh-huh.
problem. I'm still learning. I mean, as I said, there are so many things to learn,
Mhm.
and I hardly touched the layering except for a few photos, and I haven't touched the focus, focus merging. So there's still a lot in here, and PR 2021. I don't know what they're coming up with. We wait for it in August. Maybe there will be more brushes and Photoshop style of editing. We don't know. So
Okay.
wait for that.
Another thing is I really apologize for the intruder just now. I think they just joined to disturb the meeting. Okay, I
Yeah.
think we will come up with new SOP how to conduct this hangout. Okay, so no outsider to disturb or do anything silly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good, good.
Any
We
idea
learn
what's the name of the guy? It looked like a foreign name. We could have accidentally accepted him.
Yeah, I think they are purposely do that.
Yeah, I think those days next time, because I think I could be the one that accepted it, because I assume that people are decent, is it?
Yeah.
It's a foreign name. I think we should
I
maybe
think it's a
foreign
fake
not
account.
allowed.
Fake
Huh?
account. Sometimes it's a fake account.
So,
I think next time we have to put it as a clause. Only the member will
next
be
time when I show the
invited.
photo, next time you ask them, please turn on your video.
Yeah.
If you don't turn on the video, and if we don't know them, if they don't turn on the video, we don't accept them in.
Yeah.
So at least-
I think
at
this online hangout we only invite the member.
people that we know.
Yeah. Only
Yeah,
maybe
Can you trace the name?
I think I can trace it.
Okay, I mean, if you really want to take it to the next level, we can always put his name to MCMC and ask them to investigate this. Show that
No,
maybe
I think they are using the fake account. It's hardly to trace.
I think
But
MCMC can
I think
trace the
next,
IP address.
I think next time we only send email. We send the invitation through the email.
Yeah, because you throw no, but you send to where? You send to your PSPJ activity, isn't it?
I think I
Facebook,
post it on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Oh, never send to
Yeah.
Facebook. I think.
I think that's a mistake. Yeah.
So you only send to either the activity part or email. Email.
Only email. I think email better because email only send to member.
So at least you can track. The one you send to Facebook is open to what I think better. I think there's a lesson learned. Facebook cannot.
Yeah, Facebook, you have what, 7,000?
Facebook is for read only, but when it comes to, but you send the link, the meeting ID and the meeting password to Facebook?
Actually, we share on our page.
Huh?
I think they access from there. Let me check.
If you send to Facebook, then they would have entered by there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to remove it.
Don't send through Facebook the ID and the meeting password.
Yeah.
That should only. But how fast can you generate the password when you send? Can you send it 2 days before?
No matter when we generate the password or what, I think we just how to say invite through the email instead of in public.
Completely announced. That's a mistake, It's our mistake that we.
I think this is a new learning curve.
In good faith, is it? We accepted them in good faith.
Yeah, but some people are just try to make things silly, make silly things.
I think that also for our committee meeting,
I think committee meeting. That's another session. Here we are just hang out.
Yeah, so we learn the lesson be careful when we have meeting.
I think we have to remember this. So have to be careful.
Yeah, it's okay. We improve as we go along. We learn as we go along. And then we put in the security as we go along.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's all for tonight. I think a lot of people are going to rest. Okay, hope everyone rest well. Or if you have a new idea to do sharing, you can contact me or Mr. President or any committee member. So we are really welcome to any members who were willing to share. Or if you have any question or want to do any discussion, we can do it through the Zoom meeting. Because we understand about the MCO situation, so this is really a good way for all the members to hang out together on internet. So how you guys think about this idea?
Oh, it's very good. The thing is we have to attract more people to log on, right? And now we are like doing once every 2 weeks, which I think is just right. If you do it once a week, I think it's too often. Once every 2 weeks. But somehow we have to generate the interest for people to remember they must log on, right? Like, for instance, tonight I already finished. Maybe someone can do a write-up of what I did so that when you blast it up, people say, oh shit, I missed that, that kind, make sure that they regret that they didn't, that kind of thing.
Okay.
All right, so that they know it's something that they must come on and listen. Right?
Okay.
If you want to post your recording, you better edit what the guy said just now.
It'll be too long now. The recording is 2 hours, too long.
Okay. So I'm going to say call to the end of this Hangout. Thanks everyone. Thank you
Yep.
for
Okay, good night.
being with us. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you everybody
thanks,
for staying
Julie,
with me.
Caroline, first guy, Young PF. Sorry, I can't see your webcam, so I don't know your face.
You can see his face, or he posts every day in the Facebook. Lotus.
Sometimes
Yes,
the
yes.
name different.
Yeah, he used
Yeah.
his name as Young PF.
Oh, okay.
He.
Never mind.
he
I see you guys tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay. See
Okay,
you. Bye.
great.
Good
Thank
night,
you, David, for
everyone.
hosting it. Well done.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Bye
Good
Good
bye.
night,
night.
everybody. See you maybe next Saturday, GM.
Okay. Bye.